to Unhindered Soul and the Magic Within. I'm your host, Angela Bagkowski, and today we'll be speaking with Sunshine Okubo. She is a magical spirit that has guided other beautiful souls from around the world to learn how to heal themselves unconditionally. And boy, you really do that. I love watching you on Instagram and all the things that you do. So
Thank you,
welcome.
love. Thank you. Thank you.
So happy to have you here.
I am honored to be here, love. Honored. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And I met you through Dawn Marie Delahunt, I think the group, kind of in the group, and then we connected, and I remember coming over, and you did a like a healing on me, and right, it was like healing, I guess.
One-on-one session. Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
it was great. And yeah, it was just amazing. And your paintings are absolutely amazing. I love them. I loved how you had the fence all painted. It was just the whole neighborhood must have just loved just going by your house made you happy. You know what I mean? Just seeing all of that made you
Yes.
happy. So you
Thank you.
exude
Thank you.
that. You exude happiness and peace. And I know that there's such a beautiful story behind all of this, and I can't wait to hear it. And I'm sure there's more than I even know. So um I just want to, if whatever you would like to kind of like maybe go back to the beginning of how you started, maybe of it all, or whatever you feel like you need to.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the mural. That I did during COVID because I was finally out of my box that I put myself in, and then COVID came and I was refusing to stay indoors. So I was not quarantining myself, I was spreading sunshine. And that's what I started with. A beautiful sunflower on the fence, and then the
I remember that.
neighbors started coming out and I painted another sunflower on the fence. So it was such a beautiful thing. But the question you asked was when it first started, the magic.
Yeah, maybe go back to the beginning of before, or you became
Yeah.
before you got to this point in your life. So how did it start?
So I learned how to remove my precious soul out of my body at a very young age. At 2 years old, I was being abused by my mother, and I was removing myself from my body, and my soul was watching my body be abused. So I learned at a very young age that I was different. And but I forgot. I forgot that I had that magic in me until 2014.
Oh,
So I went through 6 different abusers in that lifetime and was able to take my power back at a very young age. At 16, I removed myself from my parents. I was legally divorced from my parents at 16, an
oh wow.
emancipated minor. I chose to be homeless in order to get away from that abuse. And then I was able to put myself through school. I was able to get my own apartment at 18. I did have help in between. My aunt came in and allowed me to stay at her home for a couple of years. Um, and then I got myself out again at 18 and met a person that he ended up being my rapist for 3 years. And I had a beautiful baby boy with him at 23, at 19. And I got pregnant and I was able to remove myself at 23. Again, taking my power back, repeating the pattern, and really good after that. And then I did it again. And then at 2014, I realized I was in a really bad car accident, and I removed myself from my body the minute I saw the accident happening. And I was like, oh, I forgot about this, because I was conditioned in so many ways. And the minute I realized that I am not my body, I am this beautiful spirit. Again, remember, the minute I was remembered, I should say. And oh, I just looked at the clock. It's 11:11, just so you know.
Oh, wow. You're right, it is. I
Yeah.
love it.
So I started taking my power back slowly this time. I was 100 pounds more than I am now and was in a deep depression. I had body pains and ailments that I was diagnosed with. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And I started learning how to heal myself. I started bringing my soul into the journey and healing that inner child and loving her for exactly who she was, forgiving her for repeating these patterns, because she was only doing the best that she could at any given moment. And finally, in 2019, I was talking the talk, all 2014 till 2017. I was in another car accident head on.
Gosh.
I
Oh,
was,
wow.
yeah, I was the passenger, and I predicted this accident. My friend was driving, and I said to her, I feel like we're going to be in an accident. Can you just please be easy and just be more mindful? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So 10 minutes later, I'm out of my body again.
Wow.
And they had to literally pry me out of the car.
Oh,
And my life changed again. For 4 months. I had really bad concussion, traumatic brain injury,
hmm.
and I had to be bedridden for 4 months. And I
Wow.
had my unhealthy relationship still. So I was talking the talk. Oh, we're these spiritual beings, blah blah blah. But here I'm still being abused at home, verbally and mentally, with this one. So, um, and I was like, okay, I have to start planning my escape from this man. And um, I did. When I got myself better and I got myself situated, I was got myself out of there slowly. I was putting things in storage. I was looking for houses. It actually ended amicably. I can never say the word.
Yes, I know that is amicably. Yeah, I did it. I did it. But it is a tongue
I love
twister.
it. Yeah. And because I was playing the game, I was so used to all these narcissists in my life that I realized I could play the game with him. And, I made him think that he was setting me free. I allowed him to think that it was his decision that I was leaving. And the minute I set myself free is when I went through a huge deep healing. I moved into the beautiful home that you've experienced,
Yeah, it
and
was a nice house.
Lake Grove, New York. And I made it my magical sanctuary, and I
Did.
went deep. I went deep and I went dark, for the first 4 months that I was there. I I had no furniture. I had a 7 foot beanbag chair and 3 dogs at the time. And the four of us sat on that big beanbag chair. I actually had ankle surgery. So I had an excuse to stay still and stay, you know, um, go within.
Yeah.
And I went deep and I crocheted. That's my meditation. I
Oh, yeah, your
swear by
crocheting
it.
is amazing.
Yeah.
You must have been
And
really crocheting
I
for
was
4 months.
crocheting like a machine. And it was so powerful that I just was shedding so much, so much. And then COVID hit. And I was finally out of this beautiful box that I put myself in because I was my seventh abuser. I
Right.
was the one who was telling myself that I was not good enough. I was the one who was saying, well, this is just my life. I have to suffer. No, no. So when I was able to heal that, I was never getting put back into that box. So I started, and I was doing this all by myself. I didn't have any teachers, I didn't have any guides. And I just started painting, doing what brings me joy too, crocheting and painting and doing the mural. And then Newsday reached out and I
I
was
remember that.
featured. Yeah, I was featured in this Newsday, and um, people started reaching out to me. But this is during a sad time in this world, so I was painting people's houses for free. I
Oh, I
went
remember
to
that. You were going and painting
Yeah,
murals on people's.
I went to my yoga teacher and I painted her a fairy on her shed. One of my girlfriend's dog passed, so I went and painted her dogs on her
I
shed and
remember that too.
rainbows.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then organizations started reaching out to me and I started spreading sunshine from New Jersey up to Maine to nonprofit organizations that were helping people during COVID, and somebody said to me, you're an empath, Sunshine. And I'm like, what's an empath? I had no clue because
You're a major
I
empath.
didn't
Yeah.
surround myself with any spiritual I was just like, okay, I'm just going with whatever. I'm seeing grids, on the ceiling. Angels are visiting me, Saint Germain, and I'm like, okay, um, just thinking that this was part of my life now and surrendering to it and accepting it. And then I was rubbing somebody's back one day and he was going through um, quitting smoking. And he was telling me, Sunshine, you are literally cleaning out my lungs right now. And I was like, what do you mean? I got scared. And he goes, no, keep doing it. And he ended up throwing up tar, the next day.
Wow.
And so we spent the whole weekend figuring out what this modality was. He ended up calling it purple love.
And that is so
That's where we
you.
got the
Is
name,
that the most appropriate name? Because purple is you. Just
Purple is
everything's
me,
purple.
but it's associated with the violet flame too.
Yeah.
Saint
Saint
Germain
Germain.
has visited me many, many times, and Kundalini things happened, and one day I woke up painting purple, and I was just immersed in it, and
You painted your
yeah,
car too. Remember the car you painted?
yep,
Do you still
yep.
have that car?
I sold that car. That car, I painted
The big sunflower
sunflowers
in the
all over
front.
it. Yeah, but now I have a Bliss Bus and I have fairies and hearts and rainbows all over it. I call it the Bliss Bus. And I
I love
actually
it.
have sayings all over it. Do what brings you joy. Everything is temporary. Like people, you know, some people like it and some people love it. Some people
You know,
not
the
so
people
much,
that
and
like
that's
it is,
okay too.
yeah, exactly. Oh my God. So I'm going to stop you there for a moment and we're going to go back.
Okay. Yeah.
So first of all, I love because one of the things that we learn as we get deeper into healing is how our words become things. And I love how you put things too. I love how the words that you use, um, you know, starting from the beginning and your healing. And that's really important. And I noticed that right away. And that is makes such a difference in your life. So I just wanted to point out to people, whoever might be watching this, that maybe is on their spiritual journey but doesn't know about that, how words become things. And like I said, you, I mean, I didn't even know some of that story, so I knew that the abuse that you endured. I didn't know that you were out of your body at the age of 2, which was so amazing, right? Like,
Yeah.
so at that point, we don't realize how connected we are. And then as a lot of people do, we kind of lose that a little bit as we get older because all these
Of
things in life
course.
kind of
Yeah.
become, just weigh you down. And it's almost like these accidents that you've had. And I know I'm sure it wasn't easy, but it kind of propelled you forward to kind of know, like, number one, what really matters, right? What really matters in life, and gave you that time to sit with yourself, which is a gift in a way, right?
It's
So
a
even these
total
negative things,
blessing.
yeah,
Yeah. And
people don't
that's the
realize.
whole thing is every single experience that we have is necessary, including the 6 abusers, because they were my biggest teachers. This is the school of life right here. And I had to learn from each type of abuse, addiction, body shame, losing a child. I had to learn every single thing that I went through in order to help the
Exactly.
crazy amount of people that I help from all
Yeah.
over the world. And that was my school. That was my experience. And I believe everything is happening for us.
Oh, I
For us.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I
And
think
you
I
mentioned my words before. Everything about me, I have intention, the intention of love, of holding space in my complete authentic self. No questions, no questions. It's my hard root. I'm standing in my truth, real, authentic. I am sunshine. I am beautiful love. I am rainbows, but I also will burn you if you,
right. You have your
because
boundaries, and if they
that's
cross your
right.
boundaries,
That's right. We have to have both dualities,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's balance. It's important, and uh, just hearing your story and hearing all the things that you went through, and each time it brought you to another space and a beautiful space, and your growth. Even the weight, as a health coach, they talk about the weight is almost like when people have that, a lot of times it's because they want to protect themselves. It's like protection,
That's
kind
right.
of. So, shedding that is a physical, uh, you know, a physical thing that you did, not just emotionally and mentally and spiritually. So it's just amazing how you've transformed and treated your body better too, not just your,
Well,
your
that's it.
emotional part. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the mind, body, and soul that
it's
we
all
have to
connected.
nourish and inspire. And I actually lost the weight by healing myself inside. And then when the inside was healed, I can't say completely healed because I'm still here.
Right,
I
right.
haven't ascended yet,
Yeah,
but you
still
know,
humans.
yeah, yeah. I was healing from the inside out. So that started shedding from the body too,
Yeah,
the emotion, because you hold on to these emotions and that emotions stick to you in
yeah.
ways, and in my way was my weight, but my weight was also a rebellion. My mother used to beat the heck out of me if I weighed not what she wanted.
Oh, that
So
makes
we would
sense.
have
So that was a
fights.
rebellion.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was
Wow.
hiding in the closet eating, chocolate. And she would beat me up to get on the scale, and I would rebel more and more, and that was my way of controlling because we are in control. We are
Right.
in control of our mind, our body, and soul. So we
Yes.
are in control of what we put here, and we can put negative news, conditions, judgment here. I refuse to do that now. I just feed this love. I turn my TV off. I don't even own one since
Oh, I
2017.
believe it. I believe
Yeah.
it.
Ah. And then
Because
with
that is so
what I
you.
put in, yeah, what I put in my mouth, I turned the news off in 2008 because my son joined the Marines, but I turned the TV off completely then. So then, and now my mouth, my body, I only feed myself love. And I am vibrating at such a high level now that I can't even put meat in my mouth because I just get completely ill. I can't put
Yeah.
dairy in my mouth because I get completely ill. And sugar, forget it. Forget it. I
Yeah.
cannot put sugar in my mouth because I'd be running around the room. And but it's low vibration where I've passed out. I have literally passed out if I've,
Wow. So
it's a
your
lower
body won't accept
vibration
it.
for me. Yeah. So, it's, so I feed myself love and I only surround myself with love. If somebody is not nourishing, inspiring me the way I am nourishing, inspiring them, I remove myself. I say, thank you. Thank you for showing me exactly what I don't want in my life. And I
Right.
just step aside and I wish them love because we are all love, every
Right.
single one of us. We were born complete love,
I agree.
all of
I agree.
us.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing, you don't have to have this big thing, it's just like it's not resonating. And you know what?
Yeah.
Like you said, send them love and then
Bye.
step aside. And that's your
Yeah.
boundaries. There's nothing, and
That's it.
that's really what a lot of people, and I know even myself, boundaries is one of the big things. And so when we start to do this work and learn, work on ourselves, I should say, and because we're the ones, it doesn't matter what teacher you have to, whether you have a teacher or not, um, you're the one that has to be ready for it. And you have to be ready to let go of these things and move to the next level of
Yeah.
your own um, transformation, back
Yeah.
to what you were when you were born. Like you said, we're all love when we're born. But I just the whole story. And just to go back to, because did you always paint Did you always do art, or was that something
I
you just
did.
started
I
doing?
did actually. I won my first art contest at 5 years old. I won a gingerbread house
Wow.
in the
Wow.
neighborhood grocery store. Yeah. I
That's
won a
amazing.
plaque and a gingerbread house. Yeah. And I actually have beautiful news about my painting. This is a great story. Um, I am now living in Florida, and that's a whole other story of how I got here. But I listen to my soul, I listen to my intuition without any questions. And one day, one of my girlfriends here said, "Do you want to go to Casadega?" And I said, "Sure. What's Casadega?" And she said, "It's a beautiful spiritual community. There's 58 members, and they're all psychic mediums, healers, and
That's your
something else."
heaven.
I was like, "Let me drive.
Yeah.
Let's drive,
When are we
get in the
going?
Bliss Bus." Yeah. So it's 2 hours away. And I have, sunflowers and fairies and rainbows all over my car. And I pull up and it's sunflowers everywhere. And my
I'm
body
not
is
surprised.
vibrating at a very high level at this moment. So I was like, what is happening? And we pull in, we go right into it's called Casadega Spiritual Camp
Oh,
store we went into. So we went into the store, and again, I was vibrating out of control. And I walked right up to the lady. I go, "What happens in this building?" And she goes, "Oh, well, we have healings for the world every day, every Thursday at 11 a.m." So now
oh,
it was a Tuesday that we went, and I looked at my friend and I go, "We need to come back on a Thursday." And she goes, "Okay." So then we're walking around the store, and there's a poster of fundraiser for sunflower mural on Saturday. So I was
oh.
like, "Oh." So I looked at her and I go, "I'm painting this mural." And she was like, "Okay, sunshine." And I go, "No, I'm painting this mural. I know I am painting this mural." And she's like, "Whatever." So we spent the day there. There was a fairy portal,
Oh,
everything. It was so
love it.
amazing, so fun. So I've been thinking of taking 2 days off to myself, my own little retreat, because I host retreats. I just finished one yesterday.
Yes, we're
Um,
going to talk about that too.
yeah. So I tell my friend here who I rent the space from, and I said, "I'm taking the weekend off, going to Casadega." And he was like, "Okay, whatever." So I close up shop. I go to Casadega on Friday, and I walk right in and I go, "Who's in charge of this mural?" And the woman gives me the lady's name, and I text her right away, and I said, "I am Sunshine Okubo." And I actually manifested the first parking space for the whole weekend, so everybody could see my van. So I text her. I said, "This is my credentials. This is da da da. These are my murals." And I sent her, I said, "I would love to volunteer to paint this mural for you." And she wrote back basically like, "You're crazy." She wrote back, "We've been in this process for a year. We had artists apply for this.
No
We
way.
had a board of, managers. The artist is already spoken, for, and thank you. Come Saturday and contribute that way." And I was like, "Okay." And I allowed it to go off into the universe. And so they had moon circles there. They had all these beautiful things. The whole weekend had all these beautiful
Events.
little ceremonies and sessions and stuff. So I walked in wearing my sunflower sweater that I crocheted and my sunflower pants and my sunflower earrings at the fundraiser. And I walk in, I was like, "Hi, I'm Sunshine." And she was like, "Whoa," and didn't think anything of it, donated, money, whatever, walked away from it, come back, go to another thing that night. They have a church there called the Spiritual Church. So Sunday morning, I'm sitting in the pew listening to this woman talk about love. And I got a
Like
text
you.
message. Yeah, I got a text message, Sunshine, from this woman. We'd love to talk to you. I said, perfect. I said, do you want to talk in person or do you want to talk via phone? And she goes, we'd love to talk to you now in person. I said, wonderful. I got up from the pew and I just started walking, not even asking where I'm going,
Oh yeah,
where
where
am
were
I
you going? You
meeting?
didn't even know.
And
Like
I
I'm
just
meeting you,
start
but
walking and I hear, Sunshine, we're in here. And they were in this Victorian house with the
oh,
wraparound porch with the
oh.
screen in. And I walk in and there's these
If it was
three
purple,
elders.
that would have been it.
Yeah. There's these three elders sitting there. And I was like, oh, this is the meeting. And I just walked in there and I told them whatever they, whatever channeled through me. And they said, well, we do have to have a board of management, meeting. And can you send us a proposal? And I was like, sure. When do you need it by? She's like, Wednesday. I said, I could have it to you in 3 hours. And with the drawing and everything. And I was like, blah, blah, just channeled through. And I'm painting it March 11th.
I'm so not surprised. And on 11, that's makes sense. That is so funny. I mean, you knew it
Yeah,
was going to be you. I mean, if they
I
didn't
knew.
choose you with the sunflowers, then they. I mean, come
Come
on, you
on,
are
come
sunflowers.
on.
That's you.
So but this place has been a community since 1874, I think, and
Wow,
it needs a little
1874.
love. It needs a little sunshine. It needs, some. So I light and code my paintings. So every time somebody looks at one of my paintings, they get this feeling of love and joy and, bliss. Or they cry. And that's good because that's healing too.
Well, I
Because
know
they
that
feel it. Yeah, they feel
I
it.
feel that way when I look at each one of your paintings. They're always so beautiful. Like even
Yeah.
the one that came on before, it was your what is it like? I guess you consider it a
The
screen.
Earth Angel.
Yeah, the Earth
Yeah.
Angel. Like it came on before you came on to the Zoom, and it was just I'm like, oh, it's definitely one of hers. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so let's see. So we spoke about when you kind of realized when your connection with spirit was, and that it changed your life in so many beautiful ways. And obviously, it's you know you can see how it changed people around you. I'm sure you've noticed how your family and friends and or whoever when they see you living your life and you don't impose your and that's the thing about you don't impose anything on anybody. You just live
Yeah.
your life. And just watching you, like watching you on Instagram, and you will dance and you're posing but turning around because you put your you'll make, I
Nice
mean,
sweaters.
you're just, everybody that's watching, not only is she an amazing artist, but her crocheting is beautiful. She makes clothing and
Thank you.
everything, and it's just beautiful. And so watching you, kind of like show everybody what you just made and just the whole thing, um, that just brings me joy. So, I always,
Thank you.
whenever I click on you, I'm like, oh, sunshine, right? Dancing, everybody dancing, dancing, and
because I don't care, you
No, you don't
know.
care. You're just living your life.
It's like my ego is gone, you know, the conditional ego is gone where back to that little girl. I'm back to that little girl. And, you know, when you were 5, you didn't care.
Just
You
had
didn't
fun. No,
separate
you just skipped
yourself
if you
from
wanted to skip,
anything. Yeah.
right?
You were just happy, you know? And that's what I'm back to. I'm back to that love of
Yeah,
unconditioned.
which is
And
beautiful.
yeah, my family, I removed my family at 16. You know, had some other family members that um, was removed, you know, when the sunshine came out. And that's
Was probably
okay. You
needed.
know, I believe everybody has their own journey, not my circus, not my monkeys, or the other way around, whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, if people come to me, I don't, you know, go, come to sunshine, I can help you.
No, not at
No,
all.
if
No,
someone
that's definitely
resonates
not
with
you.
me, and if somebody is divinely guided to me, which is the usual case,
Yes.
um, then I will help. But
Yeah.
I am
And when
not
you're
your
asked to
healer.
help, like they
Right.
ask you to help. That's it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're not doing anything other than just helping when needed, like your friends with it's like, wow, you're
Right.
doing something, like let's do this again, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And I'm not your healer. I am a guide. I am a teacher. I am a beautiful light, just like you are. We are all healers, only can heal ourselves, you know,
I
and
1000%
show
agree with that.
people, yeah, show people how to heal themselves. That's what I do. I teach people how to heal themselves
Yeah,
just from my own experience, you know.
right.
And when you're on the table, I'm guiding you to heal yourself. I'm showing you tools of how to heal yourself
Yeah,
and not, you know, not being in my ego because there are some spiritual beings that are very ego based.
yeah,
And
I agree.
um, I am so far on the other side of it where we are here to empower each other. We're not here to compete. We're not here to
No,
compare. We're here to nourish and inspire. And if every single one of us heals ourselves, every single one of us, including the people that are on a lower vibration at this moment, if every single one of us healed ourselves and became our own sunshine, this world would be an absolute amazing place to live in.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. And that's the thing, like you said, it's not you're not doing the healing. You're teaching just what you know, or even just I always say, like, even when I do readings, I'm just a channel. My job is to
Yeah. Just a
put the
channel.
clearest channel that I can be and learn myself. Because when I'm like you said, you're on a higher vibration when you kind of shed these things. So
Yeah.
my job for me, for myself first, is to heal and shed myself of these things and kind of become going back to remembering who I was. And then when I read, I'm just an open channel and these messages come through
That's it.
for
We're
that person for
messengers
their
then
highest
at
good.
that moment. Yeah.
Right. But when you're
Yeah.
doing your healings, it's you're empowering them, you're helping them heal themselves, and they have to be ready for it. You can do
Yes.
you can do, you know, you all have to be ready to make that change. I was just
They
listening
got
to
to
a
be
conversation.
ready.
Gotta
I
be
just
ready.
had two, yeah, I just had two goddesses from Long Island here. One of them already knew Sunshine and has done amazing healing on herself. And she brought a friend with her that had no clue. And she was
Uh,
like, oh, the first day, you know, I was like, hold on, girl.
Hold on to your hats because sunshine is gonna
Put
is
your
gonna be
seatbelts on, love, you know. But
yeah.
you know,
And
it's such a
that's what it is. You're not used to just the joy just exudes from you because you're just so happy to be where you're at. And
yeah.
going through all of that, like you said, when you recognize I remember seeing on Facebook recently, what was it? It was about just, appreciate who you are at this exact moment and what you've been through, because everything you've been through has created who you are now. And so
Yeah.
I so appreciate that. For me, it was um, going through, Lyme disease and not feeling, being ill. It was just so many things. There's other things too, but
Yeah.
when you look at it and say, you know what, that really happened for me. It was actually a blessing in some ways. I mean, it wasn't easy, and it doesn't mean it in no way at all does it mean that it's easy, because that's not what we're saying. I mean, you've been through those car accidents alone, physically on your body. It was a lot, but when you kind of look at it that way, it changes everything. And then, who you are now, this is, what you're meant to be, and who you're kind of in that space of, like you said, guiding. And I just finished saying that on the podcast last podcast I just did, last episode. Uh, we were talking about, we're just the guides, like, of who, we're using our experiences to guide others, because this is what's needed right now. This is the time that things are
Yeah.
changing. People are changing, and you can see the difference from years ago. I'm surprised that this community is from in the 1800s. That was pretty amazing, because people weren't really looking at it in that. I guess maybe there was always spiritual people, but I feel like you don't really hear much of that, as much as later on, more, in the 80s and on. It's when, well,
Yeah.
not
No,
really, the
this,
70s, right? Free love, right?
yeah,
That's true.
yeah, yeah. And
Early
and you know,
70s.
it's what is the news telling you? You know, there's so many beautiful beings. I live in a place now that has amazing, like-minded, conscious individuals,
Yeah.
where I have two temples, literally one right around the corner from my house and another one basically next door. My
Oh,
house
I
is
love it.
considered a temple at this moment, a temple of love, and it's just such a beautiful, safe space to heal. People come from all over the world. I live across the street from the Temple of the Universe. I don't. You probably don't
Wow.
even know this story. Um, and I'll probably need to do a second podcast for it.
Yeah, I
To
was
tell
gonna
the whole
say it. There's
story.
always another, we could definitely do another one too.
But the author Michael Singer of The Untethered Soul has a temple right here.
Wow.
He's a New York seller bestseller, and he has people come from all over the world. I'm going to the springs with some gentlemen from Germany right
Uh,
after this. Right after
really?
this.
Like
Yeah.
literally after this. Wow.
Literally, he's meeting me here from Germany for,
Wow.
he's only here for 40, um, he's here for 4 more days, and he heard Sunshine brings everybody to the springs in her Bliss Bus. So he came up
I
to me
love it.
last night. He was like, "Are you Sunshine?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." And so I've had people on my table from all over the world,
I
because
love
it's
it.
overflowing from this gentleman. So I'm like, thank you. But the universe guided me here, me for this exact house, for this exact spot. I live in Alachua, Florida. Who has ever heard of Alachua, Florida?
Yeah, I mean,
I
I've
live
never
in
heard, I
the
mean, I'm
middle
not
of,
good with that, but
yeah, I live in a woods in Florida. I, of course, invoked this fairy portal here in this beautiful space, but it's sacred ground, sacred trees all around me. The live oaks with the Spanish moss all around it. It's such a magical. I'm driving down my body's vibrating. I'm like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be.
You
and
must have been like,
everything
"Woo,"
was,
like the angels
yeah,
probably sang when you kind of.
everything was completely manifested, not even manifested, guided, divinely guided, because
Yeah.
I am such an open, clear channel, and I listen. And they told me Alachua, Florida. I was like, okay. And
Oh, so you heard the name. You heard the
I
name.
heard the name. I
Oh,
sold
I thought your friend. I
everything
thought a friend.
in 8 weeks, sold everything in
Oh, I
eight
remember
weeks.
your house so quickly. It was like amazing how it just all worked out. And you know, when that happens, you definitely get excited. You know,
Yeah.
there's no way. And even with this, I don't even know why I'm doing this. I just know that I find it interesting. But doing this podcast, I feel like it's really important for people
It's
to
very important.
to hear your story and to hear each person is so different and yet similar with certain things. You know, like having experiences when you're younger and then kind of forgetting that and then kind of coming back to it. But and not everybody's exactly the same, but it's similar. But you just know when these things happen. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why do I have this drive? I don't know. I don't know why. But because it comes out later on, right? You were meant to be
Yeah,
exactly where
and
you are,
not questioning it,
not
because the
questioning it.
why is the ego. If you're in your
Right.
heart space, you don't question
You
it,
just
and
do it.
trust. You trust.
Yeah.
You trust. Yeah.
Trust. One of my mantras in the morning is um is that I always follow my intuition and ask my guides and angels to guide me to wherever I need to be, my highest good. And
Beautiful.
so every morning
Yeah.
I say that, and I just follow it, and I love it because they really
And you can
do.
say thank you. Thank you for
Thank
guiding
you.
me to exactly where I need. Thank
Right,
you.
because that's manifesting. Yeah. And it's true. It's they will guide you to where you need to be. I mean, even doing my health coaching, I didn't even know how that happened. But that really was the basis for me of kind of, this too, because it was all about balance. So I needed to learn that
Mhm.
to kind of get to this next step, and it's
Yeah.
just beautiful. So let's see, we have a little bit of time left. We have about, let's let's see. So obviously, how does it show up in the work that you do and in transition to the people that come to you? I'm sure that everybody that, obviously these people are led to you and look what happened with your friend. I mean, I think that's amazing that he kind of expelled that tar out of his lungs. I mean, that's amazing. That's
Yeah, that
amazing.
was crazy. That was a crazy
So,
experience. But
so it's like you don't call it anything. It's just energy work that you do.
Purple Love,
Purple love. There we
I
go.
yeah, Purple Love. I'm a natural healer, and of course I got my certifications, in order to, receive exchange for my, beautiful exchange, the balance.
Yes, you have to have
And
balance. And that was hard
yeah,
for me to learn, but
yeah,
it
it
is
was
true.
hard for me too, trust
Yes.
me. I still do sliding scale. I still
I
do
know you
sliding
just, I
scale from
remember,
this day.
yeah, you kind of
Yeah,
just say like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I don't,
Because
you don't even want to look.
I want everyone to have the ability to heal themselves. And
I
I
love
am
that.
not going to put ego into it.
Right.
I know that what I do is love, and I know
Yeah.
money is love, but when
Yeah.
greed comes into it, that's not love. I
Right.
remember I had somebody said, you should charge $375 a session. And I was like, what? I'm not
Yeah.
paying $375 for a
Yeah.
session, so I'm not going to make somebody else pay it.
No. And that's the
And
thing. And then
so,
people can't get access to what
right.
you
And
do then,
this is what I'm here for, is for people to know that there is hope. I am a poster child of hope that we can heal, every
Yeah.
single one of us. And so I'm sliding scale. I donate. I had 6 sessions on Monday. 2 of them I donated. Two of
I
them I
do that
donated,
too. I love that.
because but it balances out,
It does balance
because
out.
it always comes back to you, right? So it's such a beautiful thing. Yeah. So I do a little bit of everything. I'm a big inner child, shadow work. And it's different for every single person. Someone calls it a soul massage that I
I
do.
love that. Oh, I love that.
Yes, yeah. So it's like all different modalities, but when you come, to me, we talk and we chat and I get to know who you are, your soul is at that moment and what your soul needs. And then I'll intuitively suggest what we should do. And again, it's guided. I'm not doing it. They are, and um, whatever is going to happen in that session is divinely guided in that session. And if you're open to it, amazing. If you're not open to it, amazing too, and it's it is what it all is, and it's such a beautiful thing. And I'm beyond grateful. One day I'll wake up and I'll say, oh, I have no sessions today. And I have an altar and I say my prayers and I say, thank you for guiding whoever needs to be guided today. Today I
Yes.
was guided. This gentleman wants to go play in the water. That's my healing today. That this man is going to have a healing session while floating down these magical springs at 80 degrees. I'm not
Oh,
rubbing in or
that
anything.
sounds amazing right now. That sounds amazing anytime, but especially right now because I'm in New York and it's going to snow tomorrow and like a lot. So it's, yeah, but
Yeah.
that to me, connecting with nature, oh my gosh, that's like amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And he
That's
doesn't
amazing.
even know it yet. He has no clue he's going to get a healing while floating down this river. He just thinks
Wow.
he's going for fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
and that's the beautiful part. You know, you
yeah.
know, so not only do you do the healings and all of that, but you also lead retreats. So did you want to speak a little bit
Yes.
about that just so people get to know what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I host retreats here in Florida, in the Forest Sanctuary here in Florida. My next one is coming is April 2nd to the 6th. I actually have 4 spots left, if anybody's interested. And then
And
when
where are you
after
going?
that, that's here in Florida.
Oh, okay.
The one after that is Sedona. That's all
Have to get
books.
there.
We have everybody booked for that. But we do Sedona twice a year. So we do Sedona in the spring and in the fall. So we have another one in October coming up if anybody is interested. I partner with Hardy Patel in the retreats. He's another heart space spiritual being.
Yeah.
And then we're doing Costa Rica in July, and
Oh,
we have spots left for that July. It's all on my website. And then we're going to Glastonbury. And again, everything's
oh,
intentional. Yeah. So we've been doing the Sedona for many years now. So the Sedona people are graduating. The Sedona people are holding space now. They're Reiki masters now. They're
oh, I
retreat
love it.
hosts now because we're teaching people also how to step into their power and find their gifts, remember their gifts, and
Yeah.
step into their own power and offer and host and do this. So the Sedona people are coming to Glastonbury with us
Uh,
because now we're going to another step higher, and then
and
we
that
have,
feels really right. That feels really
oh
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. And then we're doing Sedona again in October. We don't have
Uh,
the dates yet, but we were talking about the full moon is on October 26th, so that around that area, that time frame. But again, I do mini retreats here, right here, in my own home, um, and so many different modalities, and you leave a completely different person, in that 5 days or longer. I had some gentlemen come for 10 days, with an addiction, and he
wow.
left completely sober and is still thriving, on that. So I help every single person that comes to me, with whatever ailment, addiction, trauma, PTSD. I can show you how to save yourself. I can show you how to heal yourself. And it's such a
Amazing.
beautiful thing. And I'm honored and I'm grateful for it. Even grief, oh my goodness, grief is such a beautiful, because I am a medium also. So
Yes.
I have a different modality. I used to trans channel your
Oh,
loved one.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but that just took too much toll on my body. So I was
Yeah.
like, I
It's
don't
very
want that
physical,
one.
right?
Give me something else, something special.
Yeah.
And they gave me a completely different modality where you can actually hold and talk to your beautiful loved one,
Wow.
yourself. I show them how to do that.
I
And
love it.
yeah, so it's really just, I love my life. I love my life,
I can see it.
I
And
was
this is right where you want it to be.
a hot mess. I was
A
a
hot
hot
mess, but
mess,
you're
and now
changing
I
it.
laugh at everything because life is funny. It's funny. If you really boil it down, it's funny. Boom, I hit my head. Okay, I'm gonna laugh about it. There's
You hit
nothing I
your head.
can
What are you
do
going to
about
do?
it.
It's
The
your
head's
reaction
head's
to
put,
it.
boom, we're done. On to the next moment.
Exactly.
So
What are you going to do?
yeah,
So there was two
yeah,
things, and I had to tell you this because I'll never forget it. And one is also I remember before you started doing the retreats, and I it was like so right for you. I remember seeing that for you, and it was just I'm like, yes, she's definitely in it. And when I saw you starting to do it, I'm like, that's it. And now seeing you, well, actually three things. So now actually seeing you, going to different places like this, it reminds me of, and you heard about the monks that were doing that walk of peace. And I literally just saw that. So I had to mention that for you. It's like what you're doing and doing these retreats, it's like bringing so much peace to wherever you're going. Not just Sedona, but now you're going to Glastonbury, you said, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
I'm terrible with
Glastonbury, yep, yep,
Glastonbury. So now you're going there. I just see you going to these places and bringing so much peace with you. It's almost like
yeah.
eventually I see you doing something like that, like where you're kind of doing this walk of peace. So that's what I'm seeing for you in the future. But that's just what I'm getting right now.
I'll
It
take
just
it.
came to me. And you're just
I'll
bringing
take
so much
that.
peace
That's
to
an
everyone.
acknowledgement. Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. And the other thing I always wanted to tell you was I'm not sure where you went, but it was kind of like more towards the beginning of when you were doing these retreats. And you went to, I think you were helping this, what was it? It was a like an orphanage, I think it was, in another country. And
Oh, Thailand.
Thailand. It was Thailand. Yes, you're
Yeah.
right. And
So
you
it
were
was a
bringing
school.
the
Yeah.
school.
It
That's
was
it.
a
Yes, it was a
school.
school.
Yeah. There
And I'll
was
never
41
forget.
kids. Yeah. 41 kids in the school, and they shared the same toothbrush.
That's it. That's what stuck in my head. I'm like, what? Like
Yeah.
we are complaining about this or that, or our life. Oh, I want this and I want that, and I'm like, these kids didn't even have their own toothbrush. They shared a
Yeah.
toothbrush among 41 people, and
Yeah.
that just struck me so like right to the heart. And I
Yeah.
was so glad that you mentioned that because if it struck me, I can imagine how many people, you mentioned it on your Instagram page. And we need to look at that and look at what we really have. And do we really need all of that what we have, right? Do we need everything that we have?
No, we
No,
don't.
no. Do
Yeah.
we need any of it? No, but
All we need is what's happening right here. That's it. We
right,
have
right,
everything we need right here,
exactly.
and we will be provided for. The whole thing is trust. If you are a spiritual being and you are in a state of fear, you don't trust.
No,
You
you
don't
don't. You're
trust.
right.
So if you trust and believe that everything is divinely guided to you, you trust and believe that you are divinely provided for. There
Yeah,
is no more fear in your world. You are a limitless being. You are a fearless being. You are that pure divine love.
I
You
agree.
are.
And I think the last time we spoke, you had come on one of the gatherings that I do once a month um on the
Yeah.
Facebook page. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were speaking about money and like how that's something that I work on. And from that point to now, I've let go of a lot of it and I'm looking at it differently. Like I'm looking at it as it's, like you said, it's love, it's a tool. It's not something that we create how we use things. We create things. So you could have tons of money. I had this idea that if you had, you know, tons of money that you would be unhappy and you wouldn't have a good family life. And I'm like, but that could still happen if you don't have money. It's you. It's the
Mhm.
people that, ourselves that we're the ones that create our lives. So looking at it so differently. And I've just in a matter of a week, I've always wanted to buy stock and I just wanted to try. I'm like, I always wanted to do it. So I did it. I bought it on myself. And I know it's not such a big deal for other people, but it freed me in some ways
It doesn't
of
matter
that.
what if it's a big deal for other people. If it's about you, yay, you did it.
Right,
Clap,
right.
nourish and
Exactly.
inspire
Like I'm proud of
yourself.
it for myself, but I mean other people might be like,
Beautiful.
okay, but for me, I'm
Doesn't
proud.
matter. Yeah.
And just looking at it differently and looking at things differently changes your life. It really does. And when you let go of the fear of those things, like you said, it just changes everything. So
Changes it.
I'm at the point where I just want to lead with, like you said, love, lead with, faith and trust. Because I'm like, why am I trusting when I do my readings, but I'm not trusting that in my own life? Because it's the same thing.
Beautiful.
It's trusting and
Yep.
knowing that you'll be taken care of and divinely
That's
guided and it's fine.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that I
And
should quit
that's
my
where
job
I
tomorrow.
was. Yeah, that's where I was, before I stepped into sunshine. I was talking the talk, but
Yeah,
that doesn't get you anywhere because you're
no,
still in that fear and suffering and pretend you're not being your authentic self if you're talking about, um, you know, um, trusting and believing
trusting.
and you're not doing it,
Right. They're not doing But you know what? I do feel like it's the beginning and it's the first steps to get to there.
Of
Because I feel like
course,
we all
yeah.
kind of are at that point and and then we kind of remind ourselves or something happens and you're like, oh, I see the difference. So you think you're in
Well,
that
that's the
moment, right?
yeah.
You think
That
you're in
goes
that
back
moment and you're
to
not.
the and yeah, that goes back to the intention.
Right.
If I'm preaching this, if I'm teaching this, and I'm not being authentic and following my own advice, then I shouldn't be preaching it, right?
No, right, right.
Or so stepping into, you know, I love the four agreements, being
Oh yeah.
impeccable with your words,
Yes.
and um, being in that, like when you start to text something and you're like, oh, wait, let me
I
reword
do
this.
that.
Let
Yes.
me
I'm like,
rewrite
wait,
that,
what is that? And then you look at
Well,
that
that's
too.
the same with your words,
Yes.
pause before you say something out loud and then go forward. It's such a beautiful thing, walking that walk,
Oh
walking
yeah.
that walk, and it's
It feels
fun
great.
because a lot of the spiritual people come to me, for love. And I'll say, you already know all this. What would you tell somebody else if they were in the same situation? And they'll say it, and I go, perfect. There you go. Do it.
That's it. But sometimes we need that reminder, right? Sometimes we all need that reminder, because it's not a linear thing. It's always a kind of a roller coaster,
up and down,
until you
roller
get to that
coaster.
point. Right.
Yeah.
So, but
So
anyway,
I'm just here to remind. That's it. I'm here to remind.
We all are. I think that it's just reminding us of who we are and what we're capable of. And that's really what our message is. I feel like all of us.
Yeah.
But you are just absolutely amazing. I am so happy to have you on. We definitely have to do a second part with your other, how you got there and all of that. But even just speak to you now was wonderful, and see you. I'm so happy.
Well, I'm proud of you. You've come a long way too, love, and I am blessed to be part of your journey too. So thank you for spreading your love, and thank you for spreading your light and your sunshine, because it's important that I believe we're all little light workers. We're all little light worker soldiers, and that we are here to sprinkle love and light on whoever needs it at this moment. And if we build this army of light workers, we're going to outshine the darkness. We're going to
I agree.
But we got to do it within ourselves first.
Exactly. And it
one soul at a time.
One soul at a time. I love it. So we're going to post with the video Sunshine's information if you want to, like to contact Sunshine for any of the things that she does and offers, I should say. And it's so important. I'm sure so many are going to be drawn to this because it really is needed. And I'm just, like I said, so glad to have you on. I'm so happy for you that you're in a place, not that you weren't before, because no matter where you are, it's sunshine and love, but especially in a place that resonates so much with you. And it's just you became part of that whole flow of that beautiful
Thank you. So you could just Google me. Sunshine Warrior LLC is my it's my business, Sunshine Warrior LLC. I have a website, sunshinesoulhealingarts.com. And, I'm on Instagram, Sunshine Warrior LLC, everything. So, because that's what we
Sunshine Warrior LLC at gmail.com if they wanted to email you.
Yeah. Gmail, yeah.
I'm going to post all that too, just in case.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Sunshine. Have a wonderful time at the Springs. I wish I was there right now too. And grateful for you. And like I said, reach out to Sunshine if you feel drawn. And thank you so much, everybody, for watching this episode of The Magic Within. Please like, comment, and subscribe so that we can offer you more of these videos. So have a wonderful day, Sunshine. And I look forward to seeing you again.
You too, love. Have an amazing day. Mwah!
You too.
Thank you.
May you connect with your own magic while listening to Unhindered Soul, The Magic Within.